Hi, my name is Lydia. I'm here at Dn Dawit's book release, and I'm going to be interviewing a couple people that were present at this event. And I'm here with Cassis. Cassis, what do you think about the book?
Um, it's a very deep question because I could have answered it saying it's nice, but for me it's more than just a nice book because I've been teaching the youth for the past 15 years, and every time there is a question of, if you will, just some sensitive matters to the youth, and we needed to answer those questions in the way that the youth can understand. And there wasn't that a lot of books that are more relatable for the youth, and a book that understands where the youth or the young people comes from, having those questions. So this book, what I like about it is first it relates the problem. It's the way that it's written is like not just only like just writing a book, but it's kind of like a conversational manner of answering questions of the youth, and it addresses a lot of detailed questions, sensitive subjects, not sensitive, but subjects that are needs to be answered in our church. For example, about the intercessory role of a saint, intercessory prayers. What are those things? About the relationship between a guy and a girl, about mental health problems and things like that. So this book really addresses those, yes, to understanding the youth and to give them back answers. So I would think for the youth this is more relatable book, easy to understand and to read, and to have a starting point of truly appreciating the Orthodox faith.
Okay. And as you mentioned, it would benefit from us, but specifically, how do you think it would benefit us as youth reading this book? Um,
So, like I mentioned at the end, the way that I would think it would benefit the youth is first, people cannot open their hearts if we were not able to answer the basic questions or the main questions that they have, and if we were trying to teach them a deeper theological things, unless they those questions that really bothers them, if it's not addressed, then their hearts is not going to be open to teach. So I think the way that we start teaching the youth should be in a reverse way first, to address the questions, the concerns that the world brought to the youth. But then after that, we can get more deeper into spiritual and theological lessons. So the way it benefits the youth is now, having answered all these questions that they have now, their heart could be opened to learn a little more about who God is, and what is the sacramental life and things like that. So I think that's how it could benefit them.
so, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Redate.
Okay. And so, what did you like about the event we had today?
This event showed me that, this type of resource and this type of events need to happen because people want it. It's not just the young people that want it, but it's also the older generation who want it as well. And it showed me that this could be something that's stable and that can go in a long, that has longevity, is what I'm trying to say, yeah.
What do you think you're going to benefit from this book?
I think what I'm going to benefit from this book is the ability to ask, or to answer questions that may come up when I teach, because I teach a Sunday school class of little kids, and they're at the stage where they're asking a lot of questions, like 7, 8-year-olds love asking questions. So the resource is making me a resource, and we can't keep a generation strong if we're not able to cultivate it. So this book is definitely going to make me a resource for others, and I appreciate that.
So, what's your name?
My name is Makita.
Okay. And my first question will be, how did you like the event? What do you like about the event?
I really liked how there was so much support across young people, older people, parents, children, people who were not native, like Amharic speakers. It was just great to see such a community of support for an amazing cause and helping people reach answers that they need.
Okay. And what do you think you're going to benefit from this book?
I think I can benefit from myself knowing that I have so many questions, and now having a resource I can go to whenever I need. I don't have to. I'm not saying you shouldn't ask anyone, but now I have a physical copy of something I can read and get answers to all the questions that I have.
What's your name?
My name is Gage.
And what did you like about this event?
Pretty much, to be honest with you, I had some high-level expectation as far as what I wanted to get out of this event. I knew Dawit through the YOTC, the Bible study program. Much of his, I really liked the way that the teaching approach that he took in terms of the way that he delivered the various type of topics that he covered throughout various themes. So therefore, I like his delivery method when it comes to the spiritual teachings, which is something a little different that we haven't necessarily seen, especially where he integrates some of the barriers in terms of the languages and the way that it's delivered through the church. Not saying that the traditional method of what the current teachings are not correct, but however, I think the way that the topics and the learning materials are being delivered, it really is the crucial and critical part of actual subject matter. For that reason, I thought this event would really touch basically the points and the areas that I wanted to kind of gain more an understanding and becoming a bit more spiritual in my spiritual journey.
What do you think you would benefit out of the book?
So when it comes to questions like benefiting from a particular lesson or any type of things for that matter, it really depends on how the message is being delivered, like in terms of like the areas of what would resonate towards me and my walk towards overall spiritual life. I'll just briefly kind of cover like some of the high levels of chapter titles. Like the first chapters, I just don't get it, and that pretty much that with its own self speaks a lot about how the areas that he has covered throughout that specific chapter, which resonates to some of the questions that I might have in terms of the Orthodox the Orthodox religion overall, how the various practices are being conducted, from Kadase to baptism, various type of key pillars that he had covered throughout his lessons. But he was able to articulate it in this book in a way that I could understand it to be really relevant to what I'm seeing in my current my current surroundings and environments. And it's really because if you follow his teaching, if you attend his Bible study class, you could really read the book and have that type of a mentality that you can really understand what the author is. This is one of the very few books that I could resonate where I have some level of understanding as well as some type of relevant of sharing the same experience with the author. So therefore, I'm able to really understand it and digest it, and hopefully benefit me to the key things that he wants to pass the message to his readers.
And what do you think people can benefit from this book?
There is a lot to benefit out of this book. I see it from different perspectives. First of all, for the young people who have questions about the Ethiopian Orthodox Church faith and practices. They have questions like, why do we go to church? Why do we have to fast? Why do we have to wear Natala? And so on. This book really goes to the core of these questions and answers their questions. For the parents, it also tries to bridge the gap of communication between the children and parents. And it helps parents to better understand the mindsets and the goals and desires of their own children. The third aspect is for anyone, for that matter, who wants to know better about the church, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church faith and practices, these books book gives an insight towards the understanding of why we believe in what we believe in. Why do we go to church? What is really in it by going to church? Why do we pray at church? Is it not enough for me to just simply close my doors, my bedroom, and pray? That gives you an answer. So, to sum up, it gives a good perspective and insight to the youth, to parents, and to anyone else who is interested in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church.
We're here at the book release of Dn Dawit called, the book is called I Need Answers. Dn Dawit, why did you think it was necessary to write this book?
I felt that this book was needed because there's a lot of people who are hungry to hear the word of God and unfortunately unable to get the answers they need to the deep questions they have about the church. And for this reason, it was important to write a book that they can understand and a book that they would be able to relate with. Now, what the book is different and what it does is it's able to teach about the Orthodox Sohado Church in a way that the present generation understands. A lot of the times we talk about this generation speaks English, but it's not only about English. Their philosophy has also changed. Their identity also has changed. The way they think, the way they act, the way they walk has changed. So I think the book is able to relate with them in all these aspects and answer the deep questions they have about the Orthodox Sohado Church. And I believe that once they're able to read it, they're going to be able to see how beautiful our church truly is.
And so I have two more questions. Where can we find this book? And as well as, what is the last message you want to give to our audience?
The first one is easy. It's on Amazon.com. Amazon.com. Type in I Need Answers, Dawit Muluneh, and the book will pop up. You can see it there, and you can order as much as you want on Amazon. If you guys, if it's a local church or something like that, feel free to contact me directly, and I can send a bulk copy for people to use it. My last message that I want to tell whoever may be watching is the church is in serious crisis. And I say this because we are seeing a mass number of young people leaving the church, and we've got to save our youth. We've got to save this generation who wants to learn but is unable to. And this is the message that if anybody's going to take anything away, the message is there are a group of young people who want to learn about the church but don't have resources, so we're seeing them leave. We have a crisis. We've got to save the youth. We've got to save our church. And that'll be my message. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So as you guys were able to see, a lot of the people I interviewed thought it was, they highly recommended this book. So parents, I really recommend you to buy this for your children, buy this for your friends' children, just so they can stay within the faith and understand the faith truly. And youth, I recommend, as I bought one myself, if you guys could buy one too, to better understand our church.